Drink your shade of the evening and come with me. Let's visit the house of the Undying as it's never been visited before. Within you will see many things that disturb you. Visions of loveliness, visions of horror, wonders and terrors, sights and sounds of days gone by and days to come and days that never were. The first vision she sees is a beautiful woman lying naked on the floor, being ravished and raped by 4 dwarves or men who serve the house. This appears to foretell the war of the 5 kings, the woman being Westeros and the kings being Robb, Joffrey, Stannis, and Balon. There are only 4 men because Renly died in the chapter before she visits the Undying, or because Renly didn't like women anyway. Farther on, she came upon a feast of corpses, savagely slaughtered. On a throne above them sat a dead man with the head of a wolf. He wore an iron crown and held a leg of lamb in one hand as a king might hold a scepter. Next, she sees a vision of the past, the house with the red door and bravos, her childhood home with the lemon tree outside her window. The sight of it made her heart ache. Then she sees the throne room at King's Landing with dragon skulls on the walls where she sees her father, the Mad King, on a barbed throne. Let him be king over charred bones and cooked meat. Let him be king over the ashes.
Burn them all!
At first glance, she thought it was Viserys, but it was Rhaegar, and a woman was nursing a baby. Aegon, he said. What better name for a king? Will you make a song for him? He already has a song. He is the prince who was promised, and his song is a song of fire and ice. He looked at Dany when he said it as if he saw her. There must be one more. The dragon has 3 heads. It gets kind of weird from here, chanting and cryptic messages that are left open for interpretation, but I will tell you what I think. I will read you first what she actually is told, and then I'll go back and get into the explanation of my theory. When she asked if the visions were true, the warlocks answer, "The shape of shadows, morrows not yet made, drink from the cup of ice, drink from the cup of fire. Mother of dragons, child of 3. 3 she did not understand. Then they answered, 3 heads has the dragon. Mother of dragons, child of storms. 3 fires must you light, 1 for life, 1 for death, and 1 to love. 3 mounts must you ride, 1 to bed, 1 to dread, and 1 for love. 3 treasons will you know, 1 for blood, 1 for gold, and 1 for love." She didn't understand, and she said, "Help me, show me." She started to see images and chantings. Viserys screamed as molten gold fell down his face. A tall lord with copper skin and silver gold hair stood beneath the banner of a fiery stallion, a burning city behind him. Rubies flew like drops of blood from the dying prince, and with his last breath he murmured a woman's name. Mother of dragons, daughter of death. Glowing like a sunset, a red sword was raised in the hand of a blue-eyed king that cast no shadow. A cloth dragon swayed on poles amidst the cheering crowd. From a smoking tower, a great stone beast took wing, breathing shadow fire. Mother of dragons, slayer of lies. Her silver was trotting through a grass to a darkling stream beneath a sea of stars. A corpse stood at the prow of a ship, eyes bright in his dead face, gray lips smiling sadly. A blue flower grew from a chink in a wall of ice and filled the air with sweetness. Mother of dragons, bride of fire. So now that we've traveled back through the House of the Undying, let's get into my theory. It goes like this. Every prophecy she is told and every image that she is showed in each set coincide with each other. It's confusing, so for example, the fire for life, the treason for blood, and the mount to bed are chains of events that also have to do with Viserys, the first image she is showed in a set of 3 with the title Daughter of Death. It also has to do with the first image she is showed in the second set of 3 images, which is Stannis, which is titled Slayer of Lies. And it also has to do with the first image in the third set of 3, which is her horse, her bride gift from Drogo. So the fire for life, the treason for blood, the mount to bed, Viserys, Stannis, and her horse all have to do with each other. A lot of people assume that the treason for blood was the witch that killed Rhaego, but the witch wasn't her relative. She wasn't her friend. She didn't owe her fealty. She swore no oaths. She was just a witch. The treason for blood was Viserys. In A Dance of Dragons, she has a vision of Viserys. You betrayed me. You sold me, she says. She loved Viserys. Viserys was her blood, the only family that she ever knew, and he didn't care that his sister would be wed to savages, fucked by a whole Khalasar and their horses if need be, as long as he got his birthright, his blood right, his golden crown. Viserys is the catalyst that sets off this whole chain of events. Viserys is the treason for blood. And then on her wedding night, she mounts the silver and beds Drogo. Then when she lights the fire for life, she sees the red comet and wakes dragons from stone, which slays the lie that Stannis is Azor Ahai. The daughter of death refers to her being born into who she's supposed to be because of the death of the people that she has shown. With Viserys' death, she is now the dragon and the rightful queen of the 7 kingdoms. The next series of events isn't as easy as the first because the first events all happen in the first book. So the second set I have used books and show because the show has gone further than Dance of Dragons. So using my theory from above, the fire for death, the mount to dread, the treason for gold, Rhaego, the murmur's dragon, and the corpse on the ship smiling sadly all coincide with each other. The treason for gold is Hisdar. It's not for actual gold. The treason is for the sons of the Harpy who are masked in gold. In the books, the night she marries Hisdar and consummates her marriage, she has queer dreams of smoke and fire. Hisdar has promised to bring her 90 days of peace, and on the 91st day they wed. She weds him and they are chained in gold shackles when they exit the temple. He then tries to poison her with locusts. Drogon sensing it, he appears and she mounts him. Drogon is very similar in looks to Balerion the Black Dread. Drogon is the mount to dread. When she is found by the Dothraki, she burns all the calls, and then she becomes the stallion who mounts the world. The caller calls, his Khalasar shall cover the earth, men without number, fierce as a storm. The murmur's dragon upon a cheering crowd is Aegon or young Griff, whom the show has completely scrubbed as of yet. He's supposed to be the son of Rhaegar. He claims he is, but I do not think he is. In Dance of Dragons, he has taken Storm's End. He has a King in the North type of moment with the gold company when he makes a speech. So there's your cheering crowd. The corpse on the ship is Jon Cunnington. He's dying and he has grayscale, and he says he will die content if he places Aegon on the throne. The problem is, now that Dany has become the stallion who mounts the world, she has the numbers and she's on her way to Westeros. With 3 dragons, the Unsullied, and the biggest Khalasar the world has ever seen, to slay the lie of Aegon. Now, the fire to love, the mount to love, the treason for love, Rhaegar, the blue flower in the wall of ice, and the great stone beast from the smoking tower all have to do with each other. So with what we know from the books that are released and the show so far and the spoilers, here's what I have. The mount to love is the flower in the wall of ice, Jon Snow. His mother is Lyanna. Rhaegar presented her with the crown of blue roses, and he's the man of the Night's Watch at the wall when Dany has these visions. Rhaegar is the prince who was promised, who died for the woman he loved. The great winged beast spreading shadows is the Citadel. The Citadel claims the world that they are building has no rooms for dragon, glass candles, or sorcery. But the Citadel is also known for some conspiracy theories. I'm working on a video on that, but we'll get back to that. I'll just say the Citadel is in the great stone city of Old Town. The smoking tower is House Hightower, and the Citadel has 2 green Sphinx statues outside its doors. Sounds like that could be the winged beast to me. I also thought it might have some connection between Zombie Mountain and Qyburn, but I don't think the fire to love has anything to do with the dragons burning the White Walkers. Her dragons burning things isn't her lighting fires. When Drogon burns the warlocks, she says that wasn't my victory, that was Drogon's. She lit Drogo's funeral pyre to birth her dragons. She lit the cause on fire by knocking over the brazier and set the tent ablaze to get the biggest Khalasar that the world has ever seen. I'm almost 100% sure the mount is Jon. What else could she mount other than a direwolf? So she would mount Jon, love Jon, and one of them is Nissa and the other is Azor Ahai. The good thing though, it doesn't matter because they don't have to die. Well, technically they have to die, but they could be brought back. The treason for love could be Dany and Jon agreeing that Dany has to stab Jon through his heart to temper Lightbringer and saying their goodbyes and having Melisandre or some red priest bring him back after he asked them not to. Or it may be Dany stabbing her own self in the heart to temper Lightbringer, which would be a treason towards herself, but would also light the sword and bring Rhaegar's prophecy to life. And slay some Citadel lie. Possibly could have something to do with Summerhall. I'll be digging deeper into the Citadel in another video. There's a lot to be explored there. I'm curious to know what you guys' theories are with the 3 fires, the 3 this, the 3 that, the 3 dragons, the 3 mounts, the 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. I want to thank you guys again for all the love you've been showing me. You guys are awesome. Please like this video if you like it. Let me know in the comments your theories on these visions. And please subscribe for more content. Okay, my sweet summer children, have a great night.